Hi guys, Gretchen with Urban Healing here. About a month ago, a little over a month ago, I began a California poppy tincture. I just started it in an old salad dressing bottle, labeled it so I remembered what it was. We did have to go back to Asheville, North Carolina for some family things. And while we were there, we stopped at French Broad Food Co-op because they have a really great bulk herb room. And I stumbled across California poppy by a local grower there, our Friendly Allies Medicinal Herb Farm in Marshall, North Carolina. Yay! So I know the source where it came from. Number one thing about doing your own tinctures and doing your own herbalism, know where your herbs come from if you're not foraging them yourself, and if you're foraging them yourself, 30%, no more than 30% ever, so that you have more to forage in the decades to come. So, how do you make a tincture? Well, you find a clean, sterilized jar. You put your plant matter in it. Sometimes you will put other things in it, but this is plant matter. And then you top it off with a high-grade alcohol. I chose a very popular gluten-free vodka for mine, and you'll store it in a cabinet. I put mine in my glasses cabinet so that I saw it every single day. Gave it a quick shake, put it back in that cabinet, and let it do its thing. So now we're going to strain the tincture, and while we're doing that, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the benefits of California poppy and why I was so excited to see it. It's great for adults and for kids. That is the really, really cool thing, is kids can take this too. All right, so to put this back down, make sure it got you lined up okay. All right, good enough. And I'm doing this so super technically. You guys may not have this equipment there. Just kidding, you probably do. Old salad dressing bottle. And I'm gonna strain it into this little glass dude, because I'm gonna put it into my dropper bottles. All right, so there's still a lot in there, which is good. I'm gonna pause this. No, I'm not. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna get a bigger bowl. I miscalculated, clearly, the liquid that I was going to get out of my tincture. Happily miscalculated, but still. So you just strain it. You get all of the goodness out. And you can see it is very much not the color of vodka anymore. That is all of that beautiful plant matter in there. Now, California poppy, it acts as a nervine, a sedative, an analgesic, a febrifuge. Febrifuge means it's an anti-fever, antispasmodic, an anxiolytic, which means it's anti-anxiety, thymoleptic, which means antidepressant or a mood enhancer, antihistamine, and a uterine stimulant. Uterine stimulant is great for periods, terrible for pregnancy. You cannot take this while you're pregnant. It can stimulate your uterus to the point that you would have preterm labor. Nobody wants preterm labor. I know you get tired of being pregnant, at the end you still don't want preterm labor. Now, because of all the wonderful things that it has, it is really great. Because of all the wonderful effects that California poppy has, it's not recommended to take while you're pregnant because of the uterine stimulation. Nobody wants preterm labor. Yeah, I know you may be tired of being pregnant, you may be late in your term, but no, preterm labor is not good for the baby. It's not good for you either. It'll actually cause you more problems in the long run than it's worth it. Just hang in there a little bit longer. That being said, after the baby gets here, go ahead and have a California poppy tea or two, especially if your baby has colic. It definitely helps the baby with colic. If your baby does have colic, you can not only mix in the California poppy, but add some catnip, some fennel, and chamomile, and that will help a lot with the colic. Okay, so back to California poppy. California poppy, you can add it to multitude of medications. It does work with your stress system, so it does help lower those cortisol things. It does also lower blood pressure. So if you have extremely low blood pressure, I would let your medical doctor know that you are taking California Poppy so that he can kind of monitor that. But there are no contraindications known to California Poppy. It does help with stress, it helps with anxiety, it helps with sleep, it helps with ADD and A.D.H.D, both in adults and children. It helps with pain, those cramps that you get with I.B.S, gallbladder pain, and Crohn's. It helps with that. It helps with fibromyalgia, the pain that you're experiencing with that. It helps with stress. It does help with stress-induced asthma. It helps with opioid addiction, drug addiction, other drug addictions, alcohol addiction. There is actually a recipe called kick juice, and California Poppy is the main ingredient in kick juice. California Poppy is not the opium poppy. It is a cousin of the opium poppy, but it is not the opium poppy. It works as it can help calm you to the point you sleep. If you're one of those people that push and push and push yourself just to the point of exhaustion, you know, you're just too tired to sleep, California Poppy is amazing for you. If you have small panic attacks, California Poppy is really great for that. If you suffer from depression, if you just need a little mood enhancer, California Poppy is amazing. If your children are having anxiety from school or anxiety due to the pandemic, it's really great for them, especially if they're not sleeping. If this is causing them problems and they're not sleeping, then definitely I would give them a little bit. Alzheimer's and dementia patients really benefit from a combination of Bacopa monnieri, ginkgo biloba, California Poppy, ashwagandha, and tulsi. Those are all amazing. Mix that in with some agaricus mushroom and chaga. That really does help. It helps a lot with that acid with the Alzheimer's. Yeah, so you can see why I was so excited to see California Poppy. It's not a common herb that you come across, so if you do come across it, make sure, one, that it is sourced ethically, that it is wildcrafted, or that it is grown intentional for the intention of being harvested to be sold as a medicinal herb. Make your own tincture. You can make it into a tea. You can do whatever you want with it, basically. I'm going to see if maybe I can do a floral remedy with it. I don't know if it's one of the ones with the higher energetic vibes, but I bet it is. Until next time, namaste. Just kidding, I forgot. We're going to put this in these. Okay, so I'm going to set this small bottle in the little glass bowl. I'm using a frosting tip as my funnel. It's going to take forever for me to do this tincture by tincture, or little scoopy by little scoopy, because basically this squishiness, that's going to be your dose. So I'm not going to bore you guys with this. Whee, drippy drippy. But yeah, that's my fancy method of getting things in there. You can pour it in there, take it out, dump that back in if you'd like. Just make sure that the outside of your bottle is sterile if you're going to go that route. Afterwards, you're going to just go ahead, cap those bottles, and after you get those bottles capped, store them in a cool, dry place. Cool, dark, dry place, maybe the same cabinet that you had them in the first place, and label them so that you know what they are. Yeah, there's happened more than once, and you would think, oh, I can tell this by smell. Some you can, most you can't. Until next time, now, sorry. Namaste!